Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where serious market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about their field, assisting their internal research efforts and educating them about external issues that can affect them down the road. Today on RBDR, a commentary about the state of polling following the stunning result of the 2016 U.S. presidential election. RBDR sponsored today and this week by Nuance, a decision analyst company offering multi-language verbatim coding services that quantify the meaning of open-ended answers. Nuance invites you to read tips for choosing a coding partner. It's a piece of work they've put together that we will share with you later so you can access it and learn a great deal about a field that you may know little about. Well, after several years of clear misses by pollsters across continents around the world, Tuesday night's upset election of Donald Trump to the presidency of the United States should not have been a surprise to any of us in the research world. Another election, another polling prediction misfire. So how much additional evidence do any of us need before we can conclude that the functioning rules, consideration, and standards that are part and parcel of the polling industry somehow require at the very least a revamp, a bottom-to-top self-evaluation, and most likely a complete reworking? I have no answers for polling's dilemmas, only questions about how American political pollsters had no inkling about the so-called hidden Trump vote, which his media supporters made reference to and that Democrats scoffed at. One thing that I believe has been learned since the Brexit vote and on Tuesday is the fluidity and combustibility of the voting public. Decisions for many citizens are only made and locked in on Election Day, and that makes it very difficult for pollsters to include them in the consideration set. But there were pollsters that detected something was amiss on Tuesday afternoon, including one of the best in the business, polling expert John Zogby, who emailed his followers that 6% of voters had not made up their minds as of Election Day. And that voting block alone was a giant monkey wrench in determining the result that would come 12 hours later. Zogby saw the potential on Tuesday afternoon for a Pennsylvania and Michigan flip-flop from blue to red. That happened, and it also happened in Wisconsin. NBC News senior political editor Mark Murray conceded Wednesday morning on MSNBC that, quote, nobody modeled the rural vote, a direct reference to the districts in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin that turned undetected from blue to red between the 2012 and 2016 elections. And that's just one example of where pollsters fell short. Was it a matter of thinking things through that they didn't do completely or thoroughly enough, or digging deeply enough to understand how this could happen and emerge with the scary thought that 50 states meant 50 individual elections, and that comprehending that, how big was the issue of somehow, some way discovering how to pay for such a research expansion? There are any number of things I can't put my finger on because I don't do polling for a living. But whatever the route that needs to be taken, is there any counter-argument out there that polling desperately needs an overhaul and that it can't begin soon enough? The research business thrives on the acceptance, involvement, and participation of people, our respondents. For the public, polling represents market researchers' most visible example of what the industry actually does, its viability, how well it performs and what it contributes, and most importantly, how consistent and reliable it is. The research business has suffered enough black eyes from polling in recent years, so please, let's not hear an outpouring of research about polling generally remaining okay. Let's get on with what needs to be done. We welcome the reactions of those of you in the RBDR viewing audience. You can email me at rflbob@gmail.com, and we will be sure to include some of your comments and thoughts in upcoming videos and also underneath the description box with today's video. That's your Research Business Daily Report, which has been sponsored today and all this week by Nuance, a decision analyst company offering multi-language verbatim coding services that quantify the meaning of open-ended answers. Coding has gotten increasingly better in recent years, and it's not necessarily a component that every researcher uses with any great regularity, which means that the link to Nuance's tips for choosing a coding partner is at least something to consider taking a look at, and possibly something that is essential for you to read. Click on the link and get either reacquainted with coding or introduced to the idea. Have a great research day, and we hope the rest of your week is productive and profitable. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.